Jake and his Gaming Cult podcast. You thought this was just all going to be about music and traveling and food, and you thought I've basically turned into a food blogger. Well, no, guess what? I've managed to sandwich video games into it, viewers. We're doing it. I'm here with the one and only Diggin in the CARTS' very own Nick Dwyer.
What's up? I mean, if we were filming like a little bit earlier, it would have been the best food blog, because I just took the man to the best curry spot in Shimokitazawa, Nasu Oyaji, which was so good.
This is amazing. Thank you very much for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Good curry. Good curry. Nick Dwyer.
Yes, man.
This is the Gaming Cult podcast.
Yes, it's an honor to be on the Game Cult podcast.
A question that we ask to all our guests. Nick Dwyer, what is your earliest video game memory? Whether that be at your house, a friend's house, console, arcade,
man. No,
PC?
I know it so well. I mean, when I was about 7 years old, I reckon, we got a Commodore 64 in the family, and you know, that changed my life in so many ways. Like, we had a lot of games, all pirated as it was kind of back then. But there was this one game in particular, which was called The Last Ninja, and it was just the most incredible. Like, it felt like the first time you were playing like a cinematic game. But the reason, like, it wasn't the first game I ever played, but the reason why it stuck out was that the music was so good. It blew my mind, and for me that was my first introduction to electronic music, full stop. And I used to sit with a tape deck and record the music from the game levels and then listen back to it at night, and that was the first time for me that, you know, video game music was
like a microphone up to the TV.
Yeah,
kind of thing?
I just borrowed my older brother's like boombox double cassette thing, and just would have the speaker up and just record it. Well, there's like a mic at the top, and I used to listen. No other soundtracks on that whole system, but just The Last Ninja. Really? Which everyone should go check out. Mind-blowing.
Very good game, yeah.
And it was also, in a way, because like Ben Daglish, the guy that composed it, you know, that's the recurring thing with this whole video game music thing, is this idea of Trojan horses, and, you know, all of these things that they planted in us, be it Yuzo Koshiro and Motohiro Kawashima planting like Detroit techno and like house and Streets of Rage.
Absolutely,
or like, you know, Steve Reich minimalism in crazy Super Famicom Mahjong games.
Can you tell us really quickly about the Mahjong Tohaiden?
Yes, absolutely. The Mahjong.
Now, I've heard about this. I heard about this, not only this game, but the soundtrack through your show, Diggin in the CARTS.
Yeah, man, it's so sick. It's like when I was doing the research for the Hype It Up Digging in the CARTS compilation, I kind of, in my mind, I just imagined all of these phantom internet video game fans who'd be like, "Oh, this compilation sucks. He didn't put this on it," and I just, you know, just in my mind, and so that made me go, "Okay, the only way I could do this is to do everything." It took me like about a year, but I listened through the entire history of Japanese video game music, every system, every platform, every game.
You said you told me you literally went through a quarter of a million tracks, approximately.
Yeah, a quarter of a million tracks. You know, all Japanese like desktop PC games as well. And
wow.
And man, it was hard work, because like there's a lot of fucking terrible video game music out there, and especially pachinko games and mahjong games, and there's so many of them. And I was doing everything alphabetically. I'd work through my lists, and then you get to fucking the mahjong section, and they're all shit, and then you're just like, oh, I just want to skip through, and then but something in your head's like, no, you must keep going.
It's got to be in there.
It's got to be in there. And then sure enough, you find this super obscure mahjong game where the composer Soshi Hosoi was like really into Philip Glass and Steve Reich, and he's trying to make like minimalist music.
Well, you interviewed him too on the show.
I did, man.
It's an incredible interview.
And that soundtrack is sick, and that's the, you know, that's the thing about like digging, and as they say in Japan, keshite akeramanai, like never giving up, and you find those gems. So yeah, I love that soundtrack so much. But anyway, what I was just getting back to The Last Ninja.
Yes.
He was really into YMO and like all these kind of like, you know, oriental kind of themes he was putting in some of that Last Ninja music, and for me it was a combination of like, that was the first time I was hearing, I guess, this idea of Japanese music, and also seeing this image of like, you know, 8-bit Sakura and feudal Japan, and I guess that game cemented my love of, it planted a seed, which this fucking mighty oak tree grew out of. So I guess
here we are. Here we both are.
I have to thank that game because of that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go.
Nick Dwyer, very quickly,
Yes.
video games. Do you have a small handful of your favorite all-time games? Call it a top 3, call it a top 5.
Yeah.
No particular order, because
Yeah.
that's an impossible thing to do for most people.
I mean, definitely, I think, it's a hard one because there's certain games that were so, the impact was so heavyweight on me, but like you go back to them now and you're like, yeah. But like, I mean, for me, my older brother moved to Japan when I was like 11 and sent back a Super Famicom. So most of my like absolute favorite games are like Super Famicom, and I still go back to them now, like Super Ghouls and Ghosts, UN Squadron, Street Fighter 2, because that just fucking changed my life.
Yeah.
What else? Moving Final Fantasy 7, Chrono Trigger. I mean, that's 5 there, but all of those games. Final Fantasy 7, Chrono Trigger. The first time really it felt like I was playing a movie.
Totally.
Man, there's so many, but those those 5.
Those soundtracks are up there for top soundtracks too,
absolutely,
obviously.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite video game soundtrack, Nick? Taking away like critical acclaim and fan favorites, like I'm talking like personal favorite, like.
It's a real hard one, and I guess a lot of it changes all the time. I think, and it's hard as well because like, it's hard to find a soundtrack that's consistent, and I mean that's why for me Mahjong 2 Iden's a rare one because it's just the whole soundtrack is banging.
I've been listening to it on repeat while traveling around. It's
incredible.
Japan.
There's a guy called Manabu Saito, incredible Japanese composer that like he would have blown up and been the next biggest thing, but he died of like a what did he have? I think it might have been like something to do with his like a liver when he was like 21. But he did a couple of super rare games. It's a game called Evolution, which was like an FM Towns game. That soundtrack is sick.
But yeah, do you have? It can be obvious. It can be completely just like something that's. I mean, do you have one that you?
I think
an absolute fail-safe. Like,
I'm trying to think of.
Like for me, it's the Okami soundtrack. Like that's the one I go back to.
Okami's sick. I think for a lot of reasons.
Or like Mario 64 or something like that. That's probably.
Yeah, I can't go past Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Chrono Trigger is just like, it's so deep.
It's beautiful.
So deep. It's really, really beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, fuck. As soon as I walk away from this, I'm gonna be like, I didn't say that. But I mean, Chrono Trigger definitely gets props. But there's definitely others, and I know I will forget something and be bummed out that I didn't tell you it. But yeah, man. I'll go with Chrono Trigger.
Chrono Trigger it is. Nick Dwyer of Diggin in the CARTS.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Where can we find Diggin in the CARTS these days?
Well, I mean, it was on RBMA, but I managed to upload all the and which doesn't exist anymore, RBMA Radio. But I've just got a SoundCloud link. Myself and Teki Latex just dropped a mixtape.
Yes, that's right. That just came out. It's fantastic too.
Thank you, man.
Congratulations to you and Teki on that.
Yeah. It's a good feeling getting that out.
The title being
Teki Toniku no Mixtape Quest Daiboken, which is Teki and Nick's Mixtape Quest Adventure.
Go check it out on what's the website address?
Teknic.mx, so TEKNIC.mx.
And Diggin in the CARTS on SoundCloud.
Yes, or you can watch on YouTube the video series and all that if you haven't.
That's right, the video series. Nick Dwyer, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, man. Thank you very much.
Shuts out.